Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video on the Ant channel. Today's video is all about smaller colony setups, what I've personally used, what works well, and what I'd recommend depending on where your colony is at. Whether you're just starting out with a single queen or you've got a growing colony ready to move out of their test tube, I'm glad to walk you through all of the nests I've used, from simple DIY stuff to more advanced setups like the Wakooshi and TheCraftingAnt. Let's jump into it. So, to start things off, the simplest setup I've used is the classic DIY tub and tube. I've only done this once, and that was for my Dilobocondyla Fouqueti colony, just to give them a bit more space than a standard test tube setup. It's pretty straightforward, just a small plastic container with a test tube inside. Super cheap and quick to make with stuff you probably have laying around your house. For what it is, it worked fine, but it's definitely not ideal long term. You can't really expand it unless you drill a hole and attach tubing, and it's not great for that species that needs consistently high humidity. But all in all, a great budget option. Once your colony's got some workers, or if you just want something a bit cleaner, I definitely recommend the Wakooshi Venus nest. It's still based around the test tube, so hydration is stable, but it's got some really nice quality of life stuff built in. You get a screw top outworld, so feeding is quick and easy. The base of the outworld pops off, which means if you ever need to swap the test tube or clean the outworld, you can just block it off, pull it apart without stressing the ants too much. I've used this with my messor barbarus, and then I also have all my founding ants inside, and it's been solid. Couple small things though, when you do open the lid, it can send little vibrations through the nest, which more sensitive colonies don't love. And because it uses a test tube with cotton, the humidity isn't as strong as something like a gypsum nest. So again, not ideal for high humidity species, but great for most standard queens and smaller colonies. So, if you are keeping a queen that prefers more humidity, like most exotic species, then the Wakooshi founding module is a really nice option. It's still compact and beginner friendly, but uses gypsum for hydration instead of a test tube, which allows you to control the humidity in the nest a bit more. It also does come with a built-in outworld and also expansion port, so you can connect something else, which is handy as your colony starts to grow. Only downside, same as the Venus, it is all one piece, so opening the lid can cause a little bit of disturbance. I usually try to feed quickly and quietly to avoid stressing the queen. So if you don't want the outworld built into the module, they also have a small nest from Wakooshi as well, that are just the Gen 4, and then you can connect an outworld separately, which is a great option if you don't want that added disturbance that I was talking about earlier. Once your colony outgrows the founding module or small nest, the next step up would be the medium gypsum nest from Wakooshi. These are properly built nests, but still super clean and compact. The medium version does have two options, one with 3 chambers and one with a single, and is ideal for once your colony hits around 50 to 100 workers, depending on the size of the species. Hydration's great, visibility is spot on, and the modular ports make expanding your setup a breeze. It's definitely a contender if you have a growing colony that needs more space. Just make sure not to bring your colony into a medium too fast. Try and get your use out of the small, or if you have smaller setups, as too much room isn't good. If you want something a bit more visual and long term, the Saturn medium is a really cool option. It's a module tube styling system that looks amazing and lets you watch your colony in action. You can add more tubes as they grow, and the big outworld makes cleaning and feeding easy. I currently have my pheidole megacephala in one of these, and they love it. The layout is super customizable and allows you to put your tubes where you want them. You can block some tubes off, you can put some tubes without water, some with, and yeah, all in all, a very good option. Only downside is, well, building it. There's a lot of screws, and the Allen key can wreck your hands after a while. After talking to Wakooshi in the Discord server, he did mention that he was going to try and make the tolerance a little bit lower so it was easier to screw in. Last up is the TheCraftingAnt modular setup. I had the medium set, which is great if you're planning ahead or you want a really clean aesthetic. It's expandable, the modules are nicely built, and the vertical feeder is an actual very smart design. It saves you a lot of space and gives you easy access to change. I've only used the wire tongue inserts, which are great for hydration, but they do dry out a bit quicker than gypsum, so just keep an eye on that. Also, the feeders, like I said in my other video, feel a little bit loose when you first plug them in. Not a huge deal, and I know the crafting ant is already looking at fixing that in the future runs. So yeah, to wrap it up, if you're just looking to start out, DIY tubs and tubes are the way to go. Easy and cheap. Once the colony gets going, upgrade to something like a Venus or a founding module, or also a small nest. For growing colonies, the medium gypsum are brilliant, and if you want something fancy or modular, check out the Saturn or the TheCraftingAnt setups. Every species is different, so think about what they need, especially when it comes to humidity, space, and how easy it is to do maintenance without causing stress, especially if you're starting off and you have something like Barbarous, as they can be a little bit skittish. That's it from me. Hopefully this helped if you're figuring out what nest to go for next. If you've got a setup that's worked really well for your colonies, drop it in the comments. I'm always open to trying something new. Just keep in mind the nests I've talked about today are ones I've personally used. There might be other great options out there too, so always do your research and find what works best for your species. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Catch you in the next one.